You didn't need the jacket. You knew you didn't need the jacket. Your bank account definitely knew. But there it was, 4.7 stars, free returns, and a little pink button at checkout that said something so quietly dangerous, it should come with a Surgeon General's warning. Pay in 4, 0 interest. 4 payments, spread out, no interest. It's basically free money with extra steps. You click it before your sensible brain can finish the sentence it was trying to say. And just like that, jacket acquired. Here's the thing though. You felt good, responsible even, because you didn't just throw it on a credit card like some kind of financial animal. No. You were strategic. You were managing your cash flow. You were, and this is the important part, doing what adults do. You were also $280 in debt before the page finished loading. But that part didn't have a pink button. This is the story of Buy Now, Pay Later, the financial product that made debt feel like discipline, that turned a checkout page into a dopamine machine, that got an entire generation to say yes before they meant to, and built a $700 billion industry on the gap between clicking and thinking. And the wildest part? Maybe it's fine. Maybe it actually is free money. Maybe these companies are just out here doing the Lord's work, spreading joy, one split payment at a time. Yeah, about that. Here's the question nobody asks at checkout. If there's 0 interest, 0 fees, and you pay on time, how exactly are these BNPL apps making money? Because these apps are not nonprofits. They're not your financially responsible aunt who lends you money and genuinely doesn't want it back. They're multi-billion-dollar companies. So what's the actual business model? It was never about helping you afford things. It was about helping you buy things you'd already decided you couldn't afford. There's a difference, and that difference is the whole game. Simple, devastating, elegant in the way that traps are elegant. You are not the customer. You are the product. The retailer is the customer. Every time you split a payment, the retailer pays these provider a fee, somewhere between 2 and 8% per transaction, which sounds like the retailer's problem until you realize why every retailer on earth is happily writing that check, because you spend more. Not, oh, I grabbed an extra pair of socks more. Own data, the data they proudly show retailers like a hunter showing off a trophy, says BNPL increases average order value by up to 45%. 45%. Picture this. You open the app. You're buying one thing. You leave with the jacket, boots, a matching bag, and a candle that smells like cashmere dreams. Every single item felt like $30. None of it was $30. Your brain, the beautiful idiot that it is, stopped doing math the moment the number got small enough to feel manageable. $140 jacket? $35 jacket? That's basically free. That's basically stealing. You're basically saving money if you think about it. These apps are not financing your purchase. They're financing your delusion and charging the retailer handsomely for the privilege. But wait, there's a bonus round nobody put in the brochure. Late fees. Miss one payment, just one, and these BNPL apps charges up to $7. In 2022, over 40% of BNPL users reported missing at least one payment, almost half. So the product sold to you as 0 interest makes a significant chunk of its actual money from the people who were already a little stretched when they clicked the button. Honestly, respect. It's beautifully constructed. Clean branding, merchant revenue, late fee upside. As a pure business, it's kind of genius. You know who else had a genius business model? The payday loan industry. Right before 17 countries banned them. Shop now, pay later, live your best life. Whew, that's the vibe. That's the energy they're selling. Now here's the translation. You know what payday loans are. Sketchy storefront, neon sign flickering in a strip mall, the place your parents drove past and said, never, ever, under any circumstances, do you hear me? The villain of every personal finance documentary, regulated, restricted, and socially exiled from polite conversation. Society looked at payday loans and said, predatory. Now look at your phone. Pink app, Clean sans serif font, a checkout experience so smooth it feels like the money part is genuinely someone else's problem. Structurally, very similar. Short-term credit, fees when you miss, built specifically for purchases you couldn't quite afford right now. One targeted people who needed rent money. One targets people who want new sneakers. One felt desperate. One feels like a personality trait. Because technically, it's not a loan. It's a payment plan. Totally different. Please don't look too closely. And an entire generation, our generation, looked at the neon storefront and said, "That's predatory." Then downloaded a pink app and said, "This is just smart shopping." Which is, if you step back for a second, the most impressive magic trick of the last decade. So who fell for it? Who looked at a payday loan and felt judgment? Then looked at a split payment and felt savvy? We just spent 6 minutes explaining how BNPL companies built billions industry. You want to know what that industry actually runs on? The $7 late fee. From the person who was already $3 short. What that's it. Here's who their marketing is aimed at. Young people, 18 to 30. People who grew up watching influencers and quietly learned that looking like you have money is almost as good as having it. People who are one unexpected bill away from a bad month. People who are, if we're being honest, the exact demographic that should probably not be taking on more debt, which is exactly who they built the product for. Not because they're evil, because they're smart. Broke-adjacent 20-somethings are a massive market. And if you can make debt feel like a lifestyle choice instead of a last resort, if you can make it pink, put it next to a celebrity collab, and wedge it between your favorite sneaker brand, you've done something genuinely impressive. You've made the trap aspirational. BNPL usage among 18 to 34-year-olds grew 300% between 2020 and 2023. The fastest growing demographic for missed payments? Same group. The people clicking the button and the people missing the payments are largely the same people. That's not a bug. That's the business model. Remember our girl at the beginning? Jacket in the cart, pink button smiling at her, feeling strategic, feeling adult, feeling like she'd figured something out. She's still paying for that jacket. Technically, it was 4 easy payments. In reality, it was 4 payments, 1 missed, 1 late fee, and the quiet creeping feeling that she's somehow worse off than before she got a great deal. 0 interest. Infinite regret. The app is free, the payments are easy, the branding is beautiful. And somewhere in a boardroom that looks nothing like your apartment, someone just got very rich off the gap between what you wanted and what you could actually afford. Same as it ever was. Just with better fonts. Now, if you've made it this far, one of 2 things is true. Either you've never used Buy Now, Pay Later, or you're watching this with a jacket in your wardrobe that still has the tags on. No judgment. The tags are still on mine too. Drop it in the comments. Tell me your jacket. Tell me what you bought, what it cost, how many payments you missed. I read every single one. And if you want more videos about the financial systems that are quietly, cheerfully, beautifully designed to cost you more than you think, subscribe.